That's all. Stephen loves working on the Earl's estate at Ulfstead Castle. There he gives tours to visitors all around the island of the wonderful sights and sounds of the estate. One day, Stephen was at the castle platform waiting for the next batch of visitors to give a tour to. Millie chuffed in. Hello, Stephen. The Earl is going out to the steamworks with me today to finalize all the details before our new engine arrives. He wants you to keep guard of the grounds and make sure the tour goes nice and smoothly.
Of course, Millie. I'm Stephen the Rocket, the pride of the line. Good luck on your journey today.
Millie puffed away, while a group of people began to approach Stephen's touring coach. Daddy, this place is so boring. All it has is just old and breaking stone. Son, I do have to agree. Maybe we should take a tour of the mainland instead. Stephen was shocked. Nobody had ever walked away from one of his tours.
Oh, excuse me, but if you will my tour, I will also show you some other sides of Sodor.
That does sound amusing. The other visitors nodded their heads in agreement, and in no time, Stephen was ready to go. He chuffed off, forgetting that he was now leaving nobody to watch the estate. Millie had returned to the estate an hour later, by herself. The Earl had forgotten an important piece of paperwork. It is probably in the upper tier of the castle. I best go inside and inform the groundskeeper. But when Millie approached the gate, she noticed they were closed, and the gatekeeper was out of his booth. Oh my! Where is the gatekeeper? How will I be able to enter? Millie blew her whistle loudly. Stephen, are you around? But there was no response. Her voice simply echoed across the estate. Just then, Doc pulled in with a freight car. Hello, Millie. I have to collect some marble to bring to Miss Jenny. Where's the Earl? The Earl is at the steamworks, taking some important information with Victor. I had to come back to pick up one of the papers he forgot. Stephen was supposed to watch the grounds while giving tours, but he is not here. Well, I will simply wait until he arrives. Without him, and since he's in charge, there's no one to open the gates. Despite all of the hysteria occurring at Ulfstead Castle, Stephen was having a fantastic time giving the visitors a tour of the island. His first stop was Brandham Docks.
Many engines and of course ships come to and from these docks every day. There is also a crane called Cranky who is right up there. Stephen, out of the way. We're working here.
Heard me, hearties. What seems to be the problem?
Nothing at all. We were just about to go to our next destination. Come along, visitors. That rocket Steamy is going to get himself into some major trouble.
And indeed he would. Millie and Doc were still waiting for the gatekeeper. Now, Millie, where could the gatekeeper possibly be? He must be with Stephen, and of course, Stephen is missing. He was supposed to be watching this estate while giving the daily tours. Maybe you need another engine. One just to survey the estate, one to conduct the tours, and one for the odds and ends. That is exactly why the Earl is at the steamworks. He's getting all the final preparation in place for a new engine.
What's all this talk about a new engine?
Emily had just entered with a boxcar full of gardening supplies. Oh dear, Emily, I forgot you were arriving today. The Earl isn't here, Emily, nor is Stephen, who's supposed to be in control, and I can only assume that the gatekeeper is wherever he is too. Stephen was now telling the visitors about their next destination, Tidmouth Sheds.
A Fat Controller's favorite steam team and Duck live here. They sleep, they chat, they laugh, and get ready to be really useful.
The children were having a blast exploring the deep berths of the sheds. they were also in awe of standing right where the proudest engines of Sodor rest all the time. But Stephen was worried. Time was passing, and he knew being away from the castle grounds for too long would lead to mischief.
Okay, everyone, one more stop at our grand tour. Stephen! Uh-oh. I can't believe I couldn't trust Stephen with this simple task. He is not as responsible as I could have ever imagined.
Sir Robert, I know this is a pretty big issue, but none of us can get into the grounds without the gatekeeper. Wherever Stephen is, the gatekeeper must be as well.
An accurate observation, Duck, but I shall wait here. It will teach my grand rocket engine a thing or two about responsibility. Shall he see the four of us here at this gate and quite glumly?
Stephen was now at Nafford Station. He was describing to his visitors some very important facts about the station.
Dear visitors, did you know that Nafford Station was originally built in 1956 and actually designed to lessen the size of crowds of Tidmouth Docks?
Tidmouth Docks? When was there ever a Tidmouth Docks?
Tidmouth Docks was built before Brendan, everyone. It was just as busy but smaller, if you could imagine, and had no cranky to crane or a porter.
Porter was rushing in. He had a quite concerned look on his face. Stephen, I was just about to deliver some shit supplies to you at Ulfstead, but then Salty told me you were on a tour, heading towards the sheds at Tidmouth. I checked there, and I even checked the castle grounds earlier, but you weren't there. I gave the supplies to Emily. She had already some gardening supplies for you as well. Oh, she must have been by the grounds by now.
Oh my, what a boiler. That must mean Emily has been stuck at the gate since tea time because the gatekeeper's taking the tour with me. Everyone, it's time to go back to the station at Ulfstead.
Stephen was now approaching the gates of Ulfstead. As fast as he could, the visitors inside his special coach were bumping and bumping inside, having the most wildest of times.
We're almost home, everyone. Thank you for taking my island tour.
Then there was trouble. Stephen's side rods were wearing out from traveling such great distances at such great and dynamic speeds. One of them snapped.
Oh dear, I can't stop! Stephen, stop! Stephen, you're going to crash straight through the gates.
I will stay in front, Sir Robert. My weight might be able to stop him from crashing.
That is very risky, Duck. Are you sure?
But there was no chance to change decisions now. Duck was already stuck on the main line.
Duck, away, away!
Duck closed his eyes. Stephen gave him a mighty jolt, and both of them went crashing through the gates. Duck went so far, he fell right into the mud pit where the new shed was being built. Splat! That did not go as planned. The Earl rushed over to Stephen and Duke.
Stephen, Duck was trying to save you. Would you mind telling me why you were off this date in the first place? I'm terribly sorry, sir. The visitors were very tired of traveling just around the castle grounds all the time, so I decided to give them a different sort of tour. I know so much about the island in its glory days. I wanted them to learn all about its history. Well, Stephen, I see that what you were trying to do, it was all on good faith. And of course, this isn't all totally your fault. Is it, Mr. Gatekeeper?
The gatekeeper didn't respond, as he and the rest of the visitors were still too dizzy inside of Stephen's special coach. Once the grounds were back in working order, Stephen, Millie, and the Earl were helping Harvey get Duck back on the rails. Well, that was a lot of excitement for one afternoon.
Come on, Duck. I'll take you to the steamworks. There, Bitter will get you back in tip-top shape.
And a brand new coat of paint?
Indeed. Thanks, Harvey. Sir, I cannot wait until the new engine arrives, especially to help us out.
Speaking of which, sir, when is the new engine arriving?
Quite soon, quite soon. My train's in fact just in time for Christmas preparations to begin.
Although very excited, Stephen and Millie looked at each other. It would most certainly be time to work, but with a new engine joining their team of Ulfstead, the possibilities would be endless. Just no more island tours for Stephen. The end.